So the first thing we need to do is understand where the problem came from. The problem really started when the pandemic hit, and throughout the pandemic, interest rates were very low. And when interest rates are low, a lot of people buy. And so a ton of people were buying houses like crazy during the pandemic because people could get a mortgage at anywhere between 1%, 2%, 3%, which is very low. And so when people buy a lot, the cost of the houses go up. And so to curb inflation or to help slow down people's spending, what the government does is they increase the interest rate to help people spend less. And when people spend less, inflation comes down. And they try and keep inflation somewhere between 2 to 3%. But throughout the pandemic, inflation had risen to 6, 8, 9%. So the government increased these interest rates, and we saw a big slow down in the real estate market throughout 2023. 2023 was a tough year to be a real estate agent as sales for homes had gone down drastically by record margins. So now we are left with high interest rates. Even though they've come down a little bit, they're still very high. And on the other end, even though housing prices have come down from where they were during and throughout the pandemic, they're still a lot higher than where they were pre-pandemic. So the way the market works is that the market goes up and down, but over a long period of time, housing prices trend upwards. So even though they skyrocketed through the pandemic, even though it came down, the housing prices when they came down are still significantly more than pre-pandemic. And you combine that now with high interest rates, it's a really big problem because now it's exponentially harder for somebody to qualify for a mortgage to buy a home. And so this has really priced a lot of people out of the market. And it's unfortunate because now mortgage rates are anywhere between 5 to 7%. Housing prices are still very high and makes it incredibly hard for a first-time home buyer to really get into the market.